I am live. All right. So what's going on today, YouTube? Welcome to your favorite cyclist. And this week we're doing just a live stream, just answering some questions you guys may have. I know some of you had questions just through some of my past videos that just are kind of too small to be asked, to be really answered during a full-on video. So that's why I'm here today. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments box over on that side. Let me know what you guys have questions about. I'll be glad to answer any questions, but I do have some just from past videos or past Facebook posts or Instagram posts. I have tons of ideas from the past here. So I'm gonna start with answering some of those. You're going, what are you doing outside? Well, it's actually a decent day outside. I'm in short sleeves. It's like 60 degrees here in Reno, so it's not bad. I'm literally sitting here. I've got paint drying here, so I was watching paint dry. So got some paint drying. Figured I'd come in, do a little live stream, get this going here. Let's see. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let's see if I move closer. See if this truck is loud here. I don't know. How did you get into cycling? Whew, man. So I've been in cycling for a long time. I started riding my bike back in middle school, and pretty much I would ride from my house to the middle school all the time, every day for school. Pretty much followed that all the way through middle school, high school. Ended up taking my bike with me to Hawaii and rode all the time there. So I've really been into cycling for as long as I can remember. I think a lot of it stems from my dad used to ride his bike to work, forever ago, when I was a little kid. So I see him riding his bike and we'd go riding as a family. So it kind of started with there. And then over the time, it's just kept on going. I love riding and it's just something fun to do. Thanks for your question. So one of the questions I get sometimes, it's not cycling related. That's why I never really answer the question. I have thanks. Love the shout out from UK. All right. So one of the questions I get all the time, that I have done some videos on some of my cars. I am a car guy as well as a bike guy. So people ask what my cars are. So over here, this is my 91 Ford Bronco. Now it's my baby. I love that truck. Over here, I have it's the 98 Ford Mustang. That's the blue one you see in the background sometimes. So I am a car guy there. So that's something I know people have asked me about. My wife has an 04 Focus. That's the one with the roof rack. So I take to a lot of my rides just because it's easier to throw it on the roof rack than load the bikes in the back of the truck. So that's kind of what cars I have there. That's with painting out here. I actually got an axle going on. Cars too. Yeah, let's see. Ice Wallow come. I'm going to take a look there. But yeah, I've always been into cars, so I'm doing all sorts of projects on cars. So I got painting, and if I'm not on here doing YouTube videos for cycling, I'm pretty much working on cars. So it's a fun thing to do. So yeah, I'll check that out. Ice Wallow come. Take a look. Let's see. All right. So another question I've been asked is, when are you going to get riding again? And I think I answered this in, what video is that? That's the video where I fixed my Superfly after it broke when I was riding my first trail here. And pretty much it got cold. It got really cold really fast. It's been like mid 30s at the highest, except for this week. It's been like in the 50s and 60s. But I just had so much stuff to do. I haven't been riding this week. But yeah, it's just cold. That's why I don't ride very much right now. I would love to go riding outside. Like I said, if it snowed enough that I could have snow on the ground, I would totally go out and ride in the snow. My Superfly is pretty much fixed. I have some stuff. I have all sorts of stuff piled up that I need to do. Let's see, because I have a product to review. I got parts for the dirt jumper. I got parts for, let's see, I got parts for the Superfly. I got all sorts of stuff to do. Let's see. First time doing a live stream is pretty cool. Yeah. I thought this would be kind of interesting to do. I've never done a live stream here on YouTube, so great to see people all the way from Georgia. That's awesome. Georgia and the UK. Awesome. Yeah, thought it'd be kind of cool to connect to you guys some. I've been doing videos here. I think it's been about 2.5 years. Started like July of 2018. Ireland. Awesome. So yeah, I've been doing this for like 2.5 years, and I've never done one of these before. I see people do them all the time, and just never thought of doing it. So here I am doing a live stream in my garage, watching paint dry. Nobody else is home, so it's just me, my wife and daughter at a play date with a friend. So I'm just kind of hanging by myself. Figured I'd get going here with some live streams, some Q&As and whatnot there. Let's see here. What other questions people ask me about? They've always asked me, what kind of bike should I get? I'm a Trek guy, Trek bicycles. It's just kind of the bikes I like. I own some Specialized. That's because that's what was big in Hawaii was Specialized bikes. So that's why I have my dirt jumper. That's a Specialized P3, and my wife's bike's a Specialized Aerial. That's just what was big in the bike shops there. So that's why I Specialized. But if I had to choose one for myself, I would pick a Trek bicycle. That's just what it is. But it's always interesting here from some of you guys. I've had questions for bikes that are like in India that I've never heard of the brands before. So it's kind of cool hearing where you guys, bikes, where you guys are from and all that kind of stuff. That's a good name. I'm not going to say it, but that's a good name. That's good. That's funny. The Roscoe. All right. Verve 2 disc. That one's a pretty good bike too. The Roscoe, I like the Roscoe. I like that one. I looked at that one when I was buying my Superfly. Just ended up with the Superfly. At that time, I think I've said in some earlier videos and some of my most recent videos, I've done like all sorts of mountain bike racing, cross country races. So I've done all that. So yeah. So I mean, that's kind of why I went with the Superfly versus something else. So how come I said your name that you already said? Because I didn't realize that until I read it again now. So I didn't say it like that. But yeah, so let's see. So I like the Roscoe. If I was going to go for another bike, probably be something, probably be like a Trek full suspension. Pretty much my next step up there. I've never really ridden a full suspension that much. I wasn't kind of a hardtail guy. Just simpler, no suspension linkage. I mean, I ride single speed, so there's nothing really there. So, all right, see you later. So yeah, so I mean, that's what I would get next. Full suspension. Trying to get healthy first. Bike, your bike. Yeah, it's always good. Bike's always a nice way to get healthy. That's kind of why I continue riding. Just really to keep in shape. I did pick up running for a while, and I did 2 marathons, a couple of half marathons. It was it was fun. It was a good time, running. But it's kind of boring. You can't go near as far in 2 hours running as you can riding a bike. So, you can go pretty much a marathon on a bike in 2 hours if you wanted to. So 26 miles, but running, forget it. It's going to take forever. I think my marathon time, it was like 7 hours. It was not a good time. So, yeah. So that was kind of cool. Let's see. Campy. Yeah, that's all the question I've had is why don't I do anything on like Campanolo stuff? I don't have any. That's kind of the biggest issue is I don't have any. All my stuff, I have pretty much Shimano on everything except for the Trek 3700. That's got SRAM, but so that's why I don't do campy stuff is I don't have a bike with campy parts on it. Something I've looked into, either trying to find some used stuff or something to review and do comparisons with. But, being realistic, most people out there are going to have either SRAM or Shimano. So that's kind of one of the reasons I don't really do campy very much. You have a brother named Hugh. That's good. Not even sure where you guys come from. It's kind of neat. You can do all sorts of stuff on here. So let's go here. This depends. Okay, let's see. So yeah, let's see. What other questions? What other questions have you guys asked me previously? Let's see. I've had questions on which bike rack is best. I've done videos. I did a whole series on pretty much comparing, 3 different bike racks, pretty much roof racks, trunk racks, and hitch racks. And I showed how to install them and what the benefits and pluses and minuses were of each one. It just depends what kind of vehicle you have. I mean, if I was hauling my truck, I had it wasn't even hitch racks. What was it? Actually, no, I did 4 videos. I lied. I did 4 videos about this. I did hitch racks, trunk racks, roof racks, and then the truck bed racks or my truck. That's right. I remember I did 4. So, I mean, it really just depends what kind of vehicle you have, which one you're going to use. So, I mean, with like my truck hitch rack, I have a hitch. It just goes right in. That's going to be the cheapest option most of the time. If you have those, if you want to haul your bike and have something permanent, the truck bed racks work really good. Just a little, pretty much quick release skewer is all it is. Bolts to the body of the truck, and you're set to go. If you have like a car, yeah, I mean, trunk rack is pretty much the way to go, unless you have roof racks on your car. So, you know, that's one of the questions I've had before. I've done all sorts of videos on those, so you can take a look at those in the past. But I've done all sorts of stuff on that. But yeah, so pretty much with this here, I mean, this is kind of just the filler here. I think it's been like I didn't post this week. I didn't really have a video quite ready. I had a funeral on Monday. We had to zoom into, so I was kind of busy Monday, and then this week has just been, because of the nice weather, I just had to get stuff done, other stuff done before it got cold again. So I do have content filmed, so I'll either have something on Monday or Thursday. I should have something. I don't think I have a bike quick talk filmed yet, but I can put one of those together pretty quick for Monday. But Thursday's video I for sure do have. We're back on Project Mongoose, I think. I think we're putting the bottom bracket in. So we're going to be doing the bottom bracket on Project Mongoose, making that back into looking like a bike again, because it just sits over here in the corner of my garage. And it takes up space. So I need I need to get it back to being a bike so I can go ride it and do all sorts of stuff with it. So that's a lot of videos. Like I said, I have a product review to do. I think it's on a lock that I have to a product review on. From a company called CD Lock, like Seat E Lock. I have a lock to do a review on that. I have a new, new rear cog for the dirt jumper that I need to put on there to see if we can get that fixed. We can actually go out to skate parks. There's actually like four or five up where I live. So I need to get that new cog on there, and hopefully that'll get rid of all the noise, and we can do that. Let's see. So what would you recommend on a full suspension if you only have about $2,000? I mean, like I said, I'm kind of a Trek guy. The Fuel EXs are pretty nice. Those will get you a full suspension. I think they start right around like 15, at least last I saw. So, I mean, that's a pretty solid bike, kind of a more trail bike. So, I mean, I guess, are you looking for more of a trail bike, or are you looking for a kind of cross-country full suspension? Because that's going to be kind of a little bit of a difference just with the travel on the front suspension and the rear suspension as well. But if you're kind of looking all around for trail, yeah, okay. So trail, yeah, like the Fuel EX, the Trek Fuel EX is pretty good. I don't know any other brand. I don't really know much about other brands myself, but the Fuel EXs, just kind of the entry levels, or I think it's the next one up from an entry level, is pretty good. You get hydraulic disc brakes on it. Generally, I think it's like 140 millimeters travel on the front, and then like 100 to 120 on the back. So you get a pretty solid setup. And then I don't know if they come with dropper posts now, but if they come with the dropper post, you're gonna be pretty well set for a nice solid full suspension. And then I think Trek, they're still doing their thing where they kind of split their line. So based on what size frame you ride, if you're one of the smaller size frames, you get 26-inch wheels, and larger you get 29. At least that's how it was last time. So, I mean, that's kind of there. So would a hardtail be better with money? I mean, if you have about medium size, so you'd probably be about the same as me. So medium, you get about, I think you get 29, or you get the choice between like a 27.5 and a 29, or if it's a Trek, I think. So you kind of in that same kind of group as I am. What a hardtail you are for the money. I mean, if you're looking to spend $2,000, I mean, you can get a pretty nice full suspension bike. I think my Superfly off the shelf was about 15. So, I mean, it's a pretty simple hardtail, more cross country racing. But for the money, I mean, if you're looking at $2,000, or less than $2,000, I mean, a full suspension, you get a pretty solid one for that price. So unless you want to do a hardtail for purist sake, or because you like simplicity, I would go full suspension for that price. Yeah. Yeah. I got my Superfly when I worked at Bob's Cycle Center in Sacramento, Fair Oaks and Roseville. So they're a Trek dealer. And when I worked there, Trek offered a whole training program for if you were pretty much if you're a mechanic or a salesperson there, you could take a bunch of classes through Trek and essentially you become a Trek ninja is what they call it. And with that, I think it's essentially got like 45% off a bike. It's something ridiculous. And it takes a bunch of time to do, but I mean, for a solid bike, I mean, it was totally worth it. But yeah, I think mine was like 1600 off the shelf, 15 or 16 off the shelf. So I mean, it's definitely, $2,000. I would get a full suspension. What trails do you enjoy the most? I'm a cross country rider, so I kind of do a mix. To be honest, I do kind of a mix. I like trails where really I can kind of go somewhere and kind of get a nice view. So that's why I kind of like cross country trails. I don't mind going, riding like 10 miles out, 10 miles back. It's just a nice way to kind of clear my head. And, you go somewhere where you get a nice overview, or you get to do some climbing and then descending after that. So I mean, that's kind of what Hawaii was like too. Hawaii was the same kind of deal. You go up a hill, you go up a mountain, get a really nice view at the top, and then you book it down the mountain. So that's really what I've done the most. Kind of a generally it's like a you head out and then a back. What is it called? In and back trail, I guess you could say, where you head in and you ride back the same trail. That way you learn it. So when you're coming back to your car, you really know where you're going. So that's the kind of trails I like the most. I've never really done much else besides for that. In Hawaii, it's kind of an all mountain kind of style. It's pretty nasty for a hardtail. So I did like doing that, but if I had to choose, it's kind of a nice kind of smooth flow trail, kind of what I like. This summer, we'll see how this COVID stuff goes, but as long as everything goes good this summer, I plan to head up to Tahoe and smash some nice trails up in Tahoe. So we'll try some downhill stuff and see how that all goes, because I've never really done that before. But yeah, we'll take my cross-country hardtail up and spend a day or two up in Tahoe and rip some trails. Hawaii honeymoon at 15th anniversary. Oh, awesome. Yeah, we lived there. That's where I met my wife. Went to school out there and met my wife back in, 2014 is when I met my wife. And then we got married 2015 and graduated from school, stayed there till last year. Well, not last year. I guess it was 2019 we stayed. So stayed till 2019, then moved here to Reno, be a little close to family and just kind of hang out here. But Hawaii's great. I love it there. Can't go wrong with living on an island. Everything was expensive though. That's the one thing I didn't really like. Yeah, I mean, let's see, what was it? Yeah, I mean, milk there was like $6 a gallon. So I mean, that's really expensive. I think it was $2.80 when they paid today. We're grocery shopping, so $6 a gallon. I think gas was like almost $4 a gallon if I remember right. So yeah, I mean, here it's way nicer here. Oh, you got family in Nevada? I don't have any family here in Nevada. I'm from Sacramento, so just over the mountains. So I'm over the mountains. I mean, it's about a 2.5 hour drive to get to some family. So that's where they are. And then my wife's family's down in LA. So I mean, it's about 8-hour drive or so. So I don't really have any family here, but being a car guy, I'm not dealing with smog in California. I'd really be able to do whatever I want with my cars and not have the government tell me what I can and can't do. Phoenix to Georgia. That's a bit of a difference. Phoenix to Georgia. Wow. Yeah, that's a bit of a difference. You go from pretty much, what is that, really dry heat in Phoenix to humid heat in Georgia. So a little bit of difference. Yeah, let's see, where did I go? I went to Texas before. I went there for training for a job I was in, and I went to where was it? New Mexico. Phoenix to Illinois. Okay. So dry heat to cold to humid heat. Yeah, but I went down to New Mexico in, what was that, like February? It was March, I want to say it was. It was freaking cold. that was enough. So I did not have any desire to. I said I would stay away from a high desert, and here I am in Nevada at about 5,500 feet, and it's cold. Come from Hawaii where it's 75 generally every day, and to here where it's can range anywhere from like 110, I think it hit in summer, to I think the coldest I've seen is like single digits here. So at least so far, but you get really, the wind is different, the rain is different. The rain here is cold, everything's cold. So versus Hawaii, wind is nice, rain is warm, just totally different. Yeah, let's see. I'm trying to think if there were any other questions anybody asked me. Let's see. Oh, I know I've had people ask me what my plans are with my garage. It's unfinished. No problem. You're good. I like asking. I like answering questions. That's why I decided to do a live stream today. So it's great to have questions. So I know people have asked me what my plans are with my garage, since it's kind of unfinished, and what exactly I'm planning on doing with it. I do plan on putting some more insulation and then drywalling up the walls just to make it look a lot nicer. I spend a lot of time out here, so putting insulation in for the winter and the summer is definitely going to be nice. Seal it up a little bit better. I'm working on sealing the door, the actual walk-through door and the garage door here. Make sure it doesn't let in a bunch of cold air. So it's definitely better than when I moved in. So that's kind of the plan there. Other than that, I need to get an air compressor just for bike stuff, popping on tubeless tires. I got all sorts of stuff to do with that. It's kind of a pain with the floor pump, and I don't like doing it with a floor pump. So I got to do with that. What else was I going to do? I am going to make a workbench. Just need lumber prices to go down some so I can go buy wood without breaking the bank. So I can build my workbench here instead of the little one that's over here. That's where I've worked on before. Other than that, really, I got a nice comfy chair, a little roll around chair from Harbor Freight, and some foam floor pieces from Harbor Freight too. So my favorite tool store, America's favorite tool store, I think is what their commercial says. So I've got that just to make things comfier in here, make it easier to do videos, and really just make it more comfortable. So really do that. I like to someone to the floor eventually, but it's whatever. It's a garage floor. So dusting a hardtail and a full suspension. Something to ride in and out. Not too technical trails. I mean, I'm a big fan of the hardtails. That's just me. I mean, you could ask anybody. Everybody's going to tell you something different. I'm a big hardtail guy. I find them just much simpler to work on and work with. So that's why I do the hardtails. They don't really have the whole suspension linkage to go with. I can definitely say I've ridden friends' full suspension bikes. We've traded halfway through a trail, and it's definitely comfier. If you're doing a lot of climbing, I generally go hardtail. You kind of get rid of the loss in your in the rear shock as you pedal. That's, if you don't have a lockout on there, which a lot of them do nowadays anyways, you kind of lose a little bit of your pedal momentum from that. But I mean, if you're doing a lot of, kind of a mix of, I guess you can say more, what would I say? Like a half and half of downhill and uphill, the full suspension is definitely nice. If we're doing more just kind of flat stuff, and the hardtail is going to be perfectly fine. You can spend a lot less on if you're spending $2,000, you're definitely going to get a nicer hardtail than a full suspension. But they're both really nice. And you always, yeah, I'm just being real. You always say it, that I just want to ride in and out and not do technical stuff. And then down the road, you're going to do technical stuff just because it's fun. Just because it's fun. That's all it's going to be. That's how I started too. It was just, I'm just going to ride fun stuff, just little park trails and whatnot. And all of a sudden, I'm bombing downhill trails in Hawaii, all mountain trails, and crashing. So we'll track Roscoe 8. Let me look it up real quick here. Roscoe 8. Let's see what specs that one has on it. Let's see. Roscoe 8. Sales your opinion. Let's see. So the Roscoe 8. Oh, the trail hardtail. Let's see. Okay, 27.5, 27.5 plus tires. Oh, those are nice. 120 mil, 112. Oh yeah. Let's see. I really with those plus size tires too. I mean, that's gonna make a huge difference too. Let's see. Yeah, 1x12. It's a really nice setup. Hydraulic disc brakes, 27.5. I mean, that's kind of the way everything's going now, anyways. Does that have a dropper post on there? Let's see. That does have a dropper post too. So yeah, I mean, really for that, for that money, that's a solid. I would say that's a really solid bike. It's definitely gonna be much more trail oriented. I mean, with those, especially with those fat tires, you can run so low. You can run such low at tire pressure. It's gonna soak it up. It's gonna soak up your a lot of just the trail vibrations just from the tires. So that's gonna make up a difference between having a full suspension and a hardtail. And then that 1x12 setup's just nice. Having a 1x setup is great. Dropper post comes with it. What dropper post does this have on here? Let's see. There's the hubs. Let's see. Fork. RockShox 35 Gold. That's a sweet fork too. Let's see. This nice tires and stuff. 2.8s. Oh yeah. Shifters, cranks, brackets. Where's the seat post at? Oh, okay. Yeah, it actually has a Transx dropper post. So yeah, that's actually the same kind of dropper post, the same brand that I run on my my Superfly. So it's a solid dropper post for sure. Let's see, and you said you're like a medium, so 130 mil. Yeah, I mean, yeah, really, that's a solid bike for that price. I mean, you're getting a lot of bang for the buck. Really, there isn't much else you need to do on upgrading anything. You'd be able to ride that bike for a long time and be set. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of the more budget, I guess you could say, dropper posts, but as I proved, there's budget on them doesn't mean anything. They work perfectly fine. I've ridden mine for just about 2.5 years, and it still works just as good as it was the day I got it. So you don't need a $500 dropper post. Yeah, I haven't seen that bike. That's actually a cool color too. Let's see, what color is this one? Oh, they're both cool colors. Oh yeah, it's actually like the same color I painted my Project Mongoose. Awesome. That's a cool bike. Yeah, you will definitely like that one. But yeah, I think looking at their other ones, let's see, because that was about 1,800. So they're kind of like a full suspension, around the same price. So yeah, like the Fuel EX. What do they got? They have the 4 still, or is it a 5? Yeah, so the Fuel EX5 is just over $2,000. So that's gonna be the closest one there. But looking at, let's see, that's just the frame set for the Slash. Yeah, the orange is cool. It kind of looks like flames. Let's see, Fuel EX Dior. Wow, it's yellow. That's a cool color. Let's see. Let's take a look at this one. So the Fuel EX, comparing it to the Roscoe, it has, there we go. Let's see. Oh, there it goes, opened. Shox Recon Silver, so kind of a downgrade on the fork, obviously. Let's see. Yeah, 140, so a little more travel to it. And then, let's see, boost compatible, which is good. Dior still, so 1x12 still. And actually has the same exact seat post to it. So, yeah, I mean, looking at the difference, I have the tires. Let's see what are the tires looking like too. Tires, yeah, about the same tires too. So, yeah, looking between the difference, really, you're just going to get a difference, going with, with the full suspension versus the hardtail. With the hardtail, you're just getting a much better fork. You're getting the gold versus the silver. I have the silver on my Superfly, but it's not bad fork. But the gold, the one that comes on that, the Roscoe, is a nice fork. That's the one I wish what I want to throw on there. But other than that, most of the components are pretty similar. The Roscoe does have a better kind of a group set to it, but yeah, I mean, other than that, it's a pretty. I would go with the Roscoe. $300 less too. So yeah. I thought they had the most less expensive one, but I'm assuming their prices all went up with the whole pandemic thing going on. So who knows? Yeah, I haven't looked at these in a while. Let's see. Bikes. Just have the Superfly. Let's see. They better still have the Superfly. It's a great bike. Let's see. Cross country. Roscoe 8 it is. Yeah, that's the one I would go with. Yeah, especially if you're a Trek fan. That's the way to go. Anything else, I mean, Specialized is going to just be more. So, oh, that's right. They changed them to the Super Caliper and the Pro Caliber. That's right. Let's see. Yes, I mean, essentially, I don't have the Superfly anymore. So this was kind of what mine was. Mine is pretty much similar spec to like the Excalibur 9. What is what mine is? That's like their full race-ready cross-country mountain bike now. Except mine wasn't a 1x12. Mine was a 3x10. Okay, it's actually a little better than that. But, yeah. So, yeah, the Roscoe 8 is kind of the next step up. So, that's definitely the way I would go for it, for sure. Let's see. I've been half an hour. Paint looks like it's still drying good. All right. Let's see what else we got going on. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of the big benefit of the plus size and the fat tire bikes is you drop that tire pressure down and, yeah, it soaks up everything. It's great. If I could fit a fatter tire on my Superfly, I totally would. I can't. It could fit like I think it's a 2.3 on there right now, and that's about as wide as it can go. I think it can go 2.4, but it's not near. I think I'm at a 2.8. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much as close to a fat tire as you can get without being a fat tired bike. So, yeah, just drop the tire pressure down, go tubeless, and you're set to go. You won't have any issues at all, especially with what you're looking to do. Yeah, that's definitely going to be a nice way to go. Let's see. I'm trying to think if there was any other questions that people have had. Let's see. Oh, yeah, no problem. Hey, glad I can help you get a bike there. Glad to see another person who likes Trek bikes like me. Most of the time it's Specialized or some other Santa Cruz or Diamondback or something. So always nice to talk to someone who likes Trek bikes. But yeah, so I think that is pretty much. I think those are kind of the main questions I've had. I've been kind of stuff I can't quite do a video on, but I could definitely do a quick, easy, live stream to answer some questions on here and chat with you guys some. Trek is great. Yeah. Kind of what I looked for when I was working at my second shop was a Trek dealer. So I could sell bikes I really liked, and it worked very well. So I think the first shop I worked at, they were kind of more into roads. So they had Fuji bikes. They had Fuji felt and breezers, I think. Oh, and SE bikes. That's right. It's track bikes. So, yeah. So I like Trek bikes. That's the way I go. Yeah, if I was going to work at a shop again, I'd get Trek bikes. So, but yeah, I think that's good. It's been, half hour. Cool. So, yeah, I think this was, I call this pretty good, for a little pause there. So, yeah, so stay tuned for a video. Working on a couple, either Monday or Thursday. I'll be putting them out again. So you'll see a new video coming up on one of those days, and either Project Mongoose on Thursday or Bike Quick Talks. I don't remember what Bike Quick Talks I scheduled for, but we'll do that. You have a good one as well. Thanks for joining my live stream. You guys have a great rest of your day.